What's going on, ladies and gents? Stitch here, bringing you guys today something very special, the beginning of something very special. I am joined here by Thunderspear. What's going on, Thunderspear?
Not a whole lot. Doing pretty good. Really excited.
And as a bunch of you veterans have know, today, do know, will know, should know, no, I do not English, Sam I am words. Today is the start of Operator Week. Now,
cue the fireworks.
Yeah, cue the fireworks, exactly. So as many of you guys know, Operator Week was planned since last week. So to get some of the disclosures out of the way, yes, we do know that the official Ubisoft DLC track line is Brazilian operators and Japanese operators. Yes, I've seen the gameplay, leaks, whatever else for the Brazilian operators. Actually, the videos are already out at this point because July 30th has technically passed with the showcase that went down. On top of whatever else videos I made in the past, so go check those out. What else do I have to say about this? Oh yes, these are 100% fan-made. Some operator ideas may match other things because a lot of people do have common things in mind. Thunderspear has created these, so if they happen to match other people's, it's literally coincidence. It is possible. And partial thank you to, when I'm an asshole. Thank you to our friend Iron Man for helping contribute to Thunderspear building these operators. Without further ado, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Have fun, Thunder.
Thanks, man. So, where to begin? Oh, I know. With the Vikingasveitin, or Viking squad from Iceland, is going to be leading off the lineup for this week. And their weapons are the Mossberg 500 shotgun, the M14, the Heckler & Koch G36, the Glock 17, and the MP5 submachine gun. Now to move into the operators, we have Rage with 3 armor and 1 speed. Rage comes equipped with an interesting ability. His ability, Rage, allows him to take less weapon damage, move a good bit faster, and he'll draw a battle axe from his back. This does replace his primary weapon, so he can only fight in close range. So be cautious with how you use it. The axe does have a large swinging range where it is a sweep as opposed to Sledge's dot hitbox. And it'll pretty much one-shot enemies at close range, and it can take out up to 2 enemies with a single swing. So very useful if they're clustered together. He's still vulnerable to explosives, shotguns, and headshots. Headshots will straight up kill him. Shotguns will deal high damage. Explosives will still deal high damage, if not fatal damage. But body shots and distant explosives body shots from rapid fire weapons will not deal as much damage. They'll hit pretty light. And he can take down barricades in a single strike from his axe. His axe does not have a durability limit. It lasts as long as he's in that rage. Friendly fire is also lessened because damage is lessened to him. And he actually is not slowed down by barbed wire or Odin's blankets. We'll cover those very shortly. So don't try to run through barbed wire. He's just going to keep up with you. It does last for 15 seconds, and you can toggle it on or off, so it's not as soon as you activate this, you're stuck in close quarters for 15 seconds. You can switch in and out. And the most damage a single body shot will do when he is in a rage will be Jaeger's 416 carbine, and it will not exceed 10 damage. So if he tags you in the leg, it'll deal less than 10. If he tags you in the chest, it's about 10. And Rage is an attacking operator. Next up, we have Hell with 2 armor and 2 speed. And Hell is a defender who bears ominous scars and tattered gear. Her gadget is a bit of a cross between an incendiary and a Semtex grenade. Functioning as kind of a mix between a small frag grenade and a Molotov, this device must have solid contact with a surface before she can initiate a detonation. There is about a half-second delay when it sticks to the wall as it's setting its fuse, but after that half second, you can detonate it at the drop of a hat pretty much anytime you want with no delay. And I also should note that it does have a small blast that can deal initial damage, but after that it leaves a little bit of fire in the area. So, pretty useful little trap. And next up we have Base with 3 armor, 1 speed. And Base is an attacker and he wields a shield. However, this shield emits a small wave, sort of like a directional pulse of sound, which can bounce off up to 4 walls and then it'll dissipate. And if it actually strikes an enemy operator while it is still moving, it can actually give them a sort of concussion effect. And basically, it'll cause their audio to sound as if they're underwater for about the duration of a flashbang grenade. So whereas flashbangs make it sound really high-pitched, this essentially makes everything sound really muffled. Or, as I said, really muffled. So, tougher to hear. And it can actually stop from being initiated by mute jammers, but it will still pass right over mute jammers if you're out of range when you start it. Next up, we have Raider with 1 armor and 3 speed. Raider comes equipped with a specialized mine which scrambles electronic devices, such as the detonators for breaching charges or operator devices. But it emits a loud buzzing and has blinking red, orange, and blue lights, so it stands out really, really, really well. And this device can scramble electronic signatures, as I mentioned, which fries the detonators of breaching charges. It can temporarily disable Blitz's shield and IQ's RED, but it will also temporarily disable thermite charges as well. And while the operator gadgets are only disabled temporarily, all other electronics are permanently disabled and destroyed, which means it'll permanently destroy breach charges and drones. I should mention that if you do have a drone going by, it will fry that even if it's not in your inventory. So, be careful. These are destroyed from within the operator's inventory, or like I said, if you have a drone rolling around near it, it will fry it on the spot. If you actually walk by after you have placed a breach charge, it'll fry the detonator, and that charge is now sitting there without a purpose. Next up, we have one that Gidry helped me out with, and this is probably his personal favorite out of all of them. We have Free Runner with 0.5 armor and 5 speed. Bear with me on this. Free Runner is essentially the pinnacle of mobility for the attacking team. He's the fastest attacker by a fairly good margin, and his ability is hyper maneuverability. When holding down the gadget button, he will automatically navigate obstacles, and he can maneuver laterally over objects or even backwards over them, provided he is moving in that direction. So, if you're, say, backing up to a window, he'll automatically jump and throw himself back out of the window as long as it's on the first floor. And pressing the crouch button when sprinting will cause him to slide as you are holding the gadget button. And when you are sprinting and using hyper maneuverability, it basically allows him to do all of his normal hyper maneuverability stuff faster, and it'll give him a little extra distance as he goes over them. So, whether he's sliding into cover, under a desk, or just for fun because you think that's amusing, he'll slide for about 3 meters, and it'll return him to the crouching stance when he is done. And if you hold the gadget button and go to a surface that you can rappel on, say the outside of a building, he can actually climb up it without using a rappel, as I'm sure many of you have seen parkour videos, as they will actually do. And while he can't move and still have a pistol in his hand, he can actually find handholds at a window, and he can then kind of pull himself up a little bit and shoot over the bottom of the window with his pistol. It does make him a little bit vulnerable, as you can easily predict where he's going to be located, because he can grab the top of the window, but you're just hanging there in the window, taking up the whole thing. And so he's a little predictable in that aspect, but once the climb is initiated, you don't have to keep holding the gadget button or the A button. It functions a lot like a rappel. You can just move as you would move. And pressing the crouch button will cause him to automatically drop from it, which makes him a little more useful if somebody comes out to, say, peek him on the outside. However, kind of the balance is Forerunner. Jeez, I've been playing too much Halo. Free Runner needs to use his mobility to remain unable to be hit, as he has pretty much no armor. So if he even trips a welcome mat, he's dead. He cannot be incapped. That is how weak this guy is. So be careful. And the reason I said welcome mats kill him is because, well, you just pretty much broke his ankle. So, not going to be doing a whole lot of parkour after that. However, when using hypermobility, He can automatically kind of vault deployable shields, and if he's sprinting, as I said, it will give him a good bit more distance to hopefully pass the mat rather than one of his teammates just simply hopping over it. And if he were to take fall damage of a less than fatal degree, like say on the bank, if you're heading to the back alley and you hop off that little thing, he'll just roll and he'll take no damage, but it will force him into that roll for a second, so he is vulnerable while he does that. He cannot shoot when performing a roll, but he can still kind of see in front of him. And also, he still has access to his repel if you would prefer to repel and use your primary weapon. I should note, as an attacker, he does get an SMG because he wants to stay lightweight and mobile. So, I should note that. And lastly, we have Brute with 3 armor and 1 speed. And Brute utilizes a pretty crude, but it's also a rather cruel gadget. He comes equipped with what he refers to as Odin's Blanket, which is essentially a sheet of nails. And these can be placed on the ground to deal damage over time as enemies move through or into them, but they can also be worked into walls and barricades, so if somebody, say, goes up to place a breach charge, it will damage them. When attackers impact Odin's Blanket, it deals 5 damage per second for 3 seconds after they move through it as a bleed effect. And it also deals 10 initial damage as, well, think about it, you're stepping on a bunch of nails, so probably gonna hurt. And I should note that this does function like Bandit's Shockwire, as it does kind of dissuade people from moving through it before they take care of it. But it's more visible and more deadly, as you're going to see a bunch of these little spikes sticking up off the floor. They're actually pretty big. They're 4 meters by 2 meters, so they're not exactly something that you can miss insanely easily. Yep. And they're rolled backwards towards Brute when he deploys them. So you need a little bit of space, but as I said, they can be used to dissuade breachers as they destroy breaching charges and will damage those that try to hit them. Striking Odin's Blanket will deal 20 damage when using a normal melee, but they can be destroyed when they sustain 100 damage, aka a melee strike. And be this from a grenade, firearm, or, like I said, a melee, it doesn't really matter. And while it doesn't mean the melee hits will destroy it, it'll cost somebody 20 health to do so, because, again, you're punching a sheet of nails. Probably not going to be comfortable. So, if you are, say, crawling through it, trying to stay low, stay undetected, and you cross an Odin's Blanket, it will drain 15 health per second as opposed to the 5, which will essentially total it out to a total of 55 damage, which cannot be stopped. So, be very careful. And that is all for the Vikingasveitin. Moose, come back in, let us know your thoughts, and round this out.
Alright, first of all, sorry to everyone in the video. I unplugged my phone temporarily just to show Vic something, and it made a noise, so RIP headphone users 2016.
I didn't hear it at all.
Oh, you don't hear it but OBS records desktop audio, so that's how they hear you, and it heard that, so my bad, guys. Secondly...
So yeah, RIP.
Yeah, RIP. For bass, wasn't it a big sound wave we agreed on, not a small one? Because to travel, like, bounce downs and quarter has to be a pretty decent-sized sound wave.
Well, it's not like a small little beam. It's not, although it's not like complete line of sight moving down. It's about the size, well... It's essentially about the size of his shield moving down that area.
Now, is it enough sound to say mask movement that's happening? You know, like, would this, say, be a good alternative to a flashbang? You know,
yes,
you have them set up?
If you can land it, it essentially renders them borderline deaf.
So, it does everything. So, you're telling me if I pair this up with a flashbang and this gadget, all that's going to happen is literal people are going to start bleeding out their ears. Ubisoft will have a couple lawsuits, but GG, we win anyways.
Yeah, Moose, that's like permanent incapacitation.
So what if, like, we did a flashbang smoke grenade base combo? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if we just went all Skrillex on this bitch and just dropped it?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was me dropping the mic and walking out.
But yeah, I like them. I definitely like these ideas. So... Welcome to Operator Week, everyone. Stay tuned for tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, I have one little thing I'd like to add.
Go for it.
Since you guys have been such loyal supporters of this series, I can't thank you enough for all the support. I'm gonna allow you guys to have a little something special.
Right.
At the bottom section of this video,
The comment section.
the comment section, and thank you, Moose. I'm going to be putting the CTUs that we do not have locked in for Operator Week that are still remaining for us to do. And I'm gonna put all of them in their individual comments, and we're gonna use a like-based voting system. And on Wednesday, the third day of Operator Week, we'll essentially take them all together, and that will be the final video for Operator Week. Because again, you guys have shown so much support, so I'm gonna let you guys pick the last operator group that you guys want to see.
Sounds good. Or we could do a simple way. We could just leave a straw poll in the description.
All right,
We'll do that because also YouTube winds up filtering that shit out because it looks like you're spamming the comments. So instead of that, I'll just leave a straw poll in the description. You guys vote on it, and then at the end, and then on Sunday, we will have your user voted operator CTU come out. Yes, I can words.
On Friday, Moose.
It's a week, Sunday to Sunday.
Oh.
Did you not know what a week is?
Sorry, you normally make videos Monday to Friday.
Shh, it's a special week because I've been very busy, so I felt like I've been slacking a little bit. All right.
Okay, so in that case, yeah, we've got plenty of space to fill.
Pretty much.
There's not gonna be an insane amount of options. All right.
So without further ado, I'm the Dangerous. Thank you, Thunderspear, for your wonderful ideas, and we'll see you, Sexy Beasts, in the next episode. Peace.